Hey everybody, it is tea time with the diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're going to get into it. This tea time is dedicated to Michael Jackson. If Michael Jackson was still alive today, he would be 66 years old. Well, one of his ex-bodyguards is speaking out, saying that people didn't know the real Michael Jackson. He said the Michael Jackson that in his latter years was accused of, trying to use the right wording here, violating children. He said that wasn't him. He cannot believe that it was so. And he said, although he heard all the stories before working for Michael Jackson, when he went to work for him, and this was after the trial, after he already been accused, he said he kept a close eye, close watch to see, can this really be the man, the monster everybody's talking about? And he said he saw nothing that would remotely relate to Michael Jackson being that person. Now, I will say this, listen, at the end of the day, people have multiple sides. I have girlfriends that drink. I just happen to not drink. Okay. I ain't saying I'm perfect. I got many vices. Shopping is one of them. Drinking is not. Okay. So in this life, we all got things that we do that we can probably improve upon. So I have girlfriends that drink. When they go and hang out with me, when they go to lunch with me, 9 times out of 10, if they do drink, they don't drink on the level that they drink when they are with their drinking friends. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I've never seen them drunk. I never seen them just overdrink. I never seen that particular side of them because I don't engage. When they're with me, they don't engage. Or if they do engage, they don't engage as much. But that doesn't mean that they don't drink. So what is my point? My point is you can see a different side of a person depending upon who you are. And I also have friends that they may tell me, they'll tell me a story, they'll tell me one version, and they may tell another friend a different version. Not saying they're lying. Maybe they told me the PG version and they tell their other friends the X-rated version. All of us indirectly adjust and accommodate to the person we're talking to and what friend it is. To this day, I may tell my mother a story that I told my girlfriends, but I'm going to tell it to my mother in a different way. And then when my girlfriends, I'm like, girl, no, you know this, that. I'll tell my mother the G version. You understand what I'm trying to say? I may tell my girlfriends the R version or the R or the X-rated version. So the point is, just because this bodyguard didn't see said things doesn't mean said things didn't happen. I'm also saying leave it open. Who knows? Only the individuals in the now deceased Michael Jackson's knows what did or did not happen between him and these children that accused him of some horrendous things. So let's go ahead and get into this story. And before I get into it, let me tell you, I'm ancient. Michael Jackson died when he was preparing for the This Is It tour. For whatever reason, I don't even know if I was ever going to get a ticket or planning to, but there's Michael Jackson music I love. One of my favorite Michael Jackson songs is Man in the Mirror. I absolutely love that song. Another story for another day. But totally was obsessed with the This Is It tour. And so now everything is like streamed. You stream everything. But I'm from the day and age where you used to buy an actual maybe record or you bought the CD and you couldn't wait till the CD came out because you would run to your local store and get it. Well, I couldn't find it, but I do have somewhere in my life the This Is It CD, but I did find my This Is It, it's like a little booklet because they did a whole little movie, or if they call it movie documentary or something for This Is It. Do you see that? I mean, I was just, oh yeah, see, my CD is not in here. I just thought about it. See this little package here? That's what held the CD. I don't know where my CD is at, but I know I purchased it. Okay. So it's just, This Is It. So it's like all pictures in this book from when he was rehearsing for the tour. I was just obsessed with this. Now, let me tell you this also. I will say this. When he was practicing for this tour, he was ultra thin, did not look like himself. But let's be honest, Michael Jackson hasn't looked like his original self, so to speak, for years, okay? And just so much torment. But anyway, That's back in the day when you would actually physically go buy someone's CD. I thought that was interesting. I wonder where my CD is. But anyway, let's get into this story and the bodyguard telling how he felt about Michael Jackson. So, Star's final days, Michael Jackson's last bodyguard lifts the lid on abuse claims and reveals what he thinks really killed the star, who would be 66 today. Can't believe it was 16 years ago that Michael Jackson passed, because he passed at the age of 50. Bill Whitfield said Jackson was sad a lot and liked to take long drives. Michael Jackson's final bodyguard revealed the hidden torment, which he believes played a major part in killing the king of pop at the age of 50. Bill Whitfield said Jackson, who would have turned 66 today, had become frail in the weeks before his death in 2009. Frail is an understatement. If you saw the This Is It documentary, he just looked like a toothpick. I mean, it was, and he looked extremely pale. Now, it's ironic that he said he called it the This Is It tour, because he never even got to do like one day of the tour and before he died. And so literally it was like, yeah, this is it. It was the end, right? So there's more pictures of Michael Jackson. I will say this as a side note too. I think plastic surgeons who are doctors, right? And they took an oath to do this much surgery and procedures on a person. I think that is criminal also. Another story for another day. Celebrity security pro Bill became Jackson's bodyguard in December 2006, not long after he had been cleared of shocking child sex abuse allegations. He said he had read stories about the case and took the job unsure in his own mind about whether the allegations could be true. Bill told the Sun he was sad a lot. Things were different. He just come off facing a couple of trials. Like everybody, I heard the stories prior to working for him, so it would only be normal for me to go into the situation wondering. Being that up close and personal with someone, if that was the situation, it would reveal itself. I paid close attention to him and his surroundings and how he interacted with his kids and other people. I never want to believe these things, but I definitely kept an eye out, paid close attention, because I didn't know him until I started working for him. Bill ended up considering the star a very good friend and saw Jackson in some of his most vulnerable moments. He insisted that accusations have no weight to them and said that's not who he was. But he did come into Michael Jackson's life after a lot of the aftermath. And maybe, yes, that wasn't who he was at that point, because maybe as a result of all the accusations, he changed. Bill added, nothing like that even remotely came to surface to make me believe or assume otherwise. It wasn't his character. You had to be around him to know him, and I was there. So no, that wasn't him. And so it just still surprises me when I hear things like that. I'm just so sorry he wasn't around long enough to actually tell his side of the story so people could get a better understanding of who he was. He would never hurt a child. That wasn't the man I knew. He once said he was slit his wrist before hurting a child. So I know those accusations were hurtful for him. I can tell that changed him. Having shot to stardom as a child, Jackson spent 4 decades at the center of the world stage, clocking up 500 million record sales in the process. But he became embroiled in controversy when in 1993 he was accused of sexually abusing a child. He was definitely stressed out, and stress kills. Stress definitely kills. It was settled out a civil court. However, in 2005, Data 3 Jackson was tried over further damaging allegations of child sexual abuse. The FBI failed to find any evidence of criminal conduct, and Jackson was acquitted. Shaken by the 4-month trial, the Man in the Mirror singer became reclusive and decided not to return to his beloved ranch, Neverland. And following his History World Tour in 1997, Jackson has shied away from performing any major concert. But in March 2009, he set the world all right by announcing a series of comeback concerts. The This Is It residency was due to run for a whopping 50 dates at London's O2 Arena from July 2009 to March 2010. Jackson moved to LA, where he spent endless hours rehearsing, which Bill says took its toll on the star, especially after the publicly played out trial. So, Jacko allegation timeline. Jordan, who was 13, accused him of in 1993 of inappropriate behavior. He got a $20 million payoff. In 2005, Gavin accused him. Michael Jackson was acquitted in the 2005 trial. In 2009, another young a boy accused him. He was 13. Okay, he said it happened to him when he was 13 in 1979. So these allegations go way back, okay, to the 70s. Very sad. Wade Robson claimed he was abused over a 7-year period in the 80s and 90s, and that accusation came out in 2013. Then we got James in 2014. Then we got another person in 2019. So he went through a lot of allegations that I'm sure took a toll on him. He said prior to the whole This Is It tour coming into play, a lot had changed. There were more people in his life and it became hectic. I could see he was a little more frail than normal. He was doing a lot of rehearsing. I could tell it was weighing on him. Just weeks before Jackson was due to kick off much anticipated sellout residency, he died from an overdose. Bill said he wondered in the years since whether the Billie Jean singer could have been killed intentionally. Personally, I don't think it was intentional. It was rumored for years that Michael Jackson had substance abuse issues. I don't think anybody intentionally took him out in the end. I think Dr. Conrad was dead wrong with what he did, but I think eventually by his own hands or, whatever, Michael Jackson was headed down the wrong path. I tried to work on thoughts of could this have been intentional, but the thought that he died at the hands of someone intentionally, that doesn't weigh with me. I've often been asked, what do I think killed him? And I've told people a lot of everything, and it includes a lot of us. There were so many people that wanted not only to be near him, but there were so many people who wanted something from him. But isn't that every celebrity though? A lot of people in their entourage, they just want something from them. It's either money, the adjacency, the fame, or something like that. Rarely do you have a bunch of people that really truly care about you. And Diddy is finding that out now. It seems like the only person that is standing by his side 100% is Stevie J. But that's another story for another day. So Michael Jackson died on June 25th, 2009 at 2:26 p.m. The star was discovered in his bed by his personal physician, Conrad Murray. He had been rehearsing past midnight ahead of his comeback concerts at the O2 Arena and had not left his bedroom that morning. Murray tried to revive Jackson for 5 to 10 minutes before calling paramedics. Once he was down like that, and if Murray tried 10 to 15 minutes and then called the paramedics, the whole situation is just not good. They performed CPR on the singer for 42 minutes at his home in Homely Hills, Los Angeles, before he was taken to the hospital. The ambulance arrived at Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center at 1:14 p.m., and Jackson was pronounced dead after over an hour, oh gosh, of attempted resuscitation at 2:26 p.m. A 3-hour autopsy was performed at the LA County Coroner's Office the day after Jackson's death. It found he died from a drug overdose from a combination of drugs with propofol and lorazepam named as the primary substances. Among the other drugs found in a pop star body, he had a whole cocktail of drugs in his body. The coroner concluded that his death was a homicide. Murray was sentenced as the doctor to 4 years in jail in November 2011 for involuntary manslaughter, as he gave Jackson propofol for 2 months to help treat his insomnia ahead of his tour. He served 2 years of his sentence and was released in October 2013. I believe current time that Murray actually got his license back. I believe so. I have to check into that a little bit later, but I do believe that. And that can be overwhelming. He was definitely stressed out, and stress kills. I think he didn't just pass away, he left. He left this place, this world, for a better place because the rest that he needed, he would never got in this lifetime. Bill said when he first got a call on June 25th, 2009, saying his boss was dead, he failed to believe it. He added, I started getting phone calls from people and they were saying, did I hear? I said, did I hear what? They said Michael Jackson has passed away. At first, I believe it was because there was a time when we were driving in Virginia and on the radio, they announced that Michael Jackson had passed away. And he was like in the back of the car. And I was looking right at him. And I said, Mr. Jackson, did you hear that? They said, you died. He said, oh, I get that all the time. So when the situation was actually real, I didn't believe it at first. So this bodyguard is calling Michael Jackson his boss and his friend. Describing Jackson as different, Bill said he considered the superstar a very good friend. Bill added he trusted me, even his most prized possession, his kids. As much as I considered him my friend, he was still my boss, and he got on my nerves. Anybody who had a boss or a supervisor, I'm sure they get at their nerves at some point. He certainly got on mine. Certainly going to the movies, and he insisted on bringing spray butter and hot sauce with him to the movies. And there were times which we forgot, and then he didn't want to go to the movies. That was that serious to him. I guess to be able to enjoy a moment that way, he wanted to enjoy it. He liked taking long drives at 3, 4 in the morning, and he would just drive, whether it was up and down a Las Vegas Boulevard strip or whether we happened to be out in the country somewhere. He just wanted to drive and kind of take the world outside without being rushed. I knew he was dealing with something or going through something, and he would take these long drives to get his thoughts together. Those are the children. That's Michael Jackson. They're all big now. And now it's a lot going on with the estate. And like many stars that passed away, when Michael Jackson was doing this Is It tour, he set to do it because he was out of money. He was broke. Neverland and all of the different lawsuits, civil lawsuits, had sucked him dry because he was paying lawyers, he was paying bills, so he was broke. And that is the real reason why he did the This Is It tour, or was scheduled to do the This Is It tour. And he put a lot of his own money that he did have left, he put into that tour to make it the best show ever, to kind of get out of the financial ruins. But the people that took over his estate once he died, they did get him out. I want to say this CD, it sold millions on top of millions, because I bought so much stuff in reference to This Is It, tour when Michael Jackson passed, because it was just sad and heart-wrenching. As for the bodyguard saying he did not see that side of Michael Jackson, I'm not shocked, and I believe the bodyguard. But again, that doesn't mean that there was not another side to Michael Jackson. It just means that this particular bodyguard did not see it. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.